Hello viewers, this is Princewell TV. Welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time coming across my channel, you're welcome. Please subscribe, press the like button so that whenever I upload a new video, you'll be the first to know. And if you are a welcoming back subscriber, I want to say a very big thank you. God bless you for supporting my channel. Today's topic is about building a house in Africa, or will I say building a house in Nigeria because I'm from Nigeria, but generally I'm talking about we Africans in diaspora building a house back home. This is my topic today because I've discussed this topic several times with friends and family, and I noticed that we all have different ideas why we should build why we should build a house in Africa, or why we shouldn't build a house in Africa. So the point is, what is your opinion concerning this issue, concerning this matter? If you have a different idea, if you have a different opinion, please could you kindly write down below so that we can talk about it. Thank you so much. So let's come to the topic: building a house in Africa, building a house in Nigeria. There are a whole lot of things that are involved. I think I would say the negative is more than the positive, especially in the present day Africa, in the present day Nigeria. Probably if it were to be those days, back then, it would have been a different ballgame altogether. But the present day Africa or the present day Nigeria is a very difficult place. I tell you, building a house there is not that easy. It's not about you not getting the money to build a house, but the negativity surrounding this particular topic is so much. That is what I want to share with you. Now, for those people living in diaspora, you married in diaspora, or you didn't marry in diaspora, you have your kids in diaspora, or you brought them from Africa to diaspora. It doesn't really matter whether you are living in Germany, you're living in the UK, Austria, Spain, USA, Australia. It doesn't really matter any part of Europe you're living, or any part of America you're living in. The point is, why should you build a house in Nigeria or in Africa? Whether you're from Cameroon, you're from Senegal, you're from Togo, you're from Ghana, any part of the African continent that you came from, the reason why you shouldn't build a house in Africa, to my own best of my knowledge and my opinion, it depends on whoever is building the house in the first place, and it depends on the kind of country you came from, in the kind of country you came from in Africa. So now let's get it done. Now you have kids in Europe, wherever you live, in diaspora. Your kids grew up there, they went to school there, they have their friends there, they have everything basically in diaspora. Now they don't know anything about your country. Even if they know, you take them, to your country once in a while, but all their life is here in Europe. Because majority of us, our kids are more based in Europe than in Africa. Maybe only about 3%, 2% of kids, live in Nigeria while they were giving birth to in diaspora. It depends on the parents. But I think majority of the parents grow up their kids in diaspora, and they live more in diaspora than in Africa. You could understand what I'm trying to say. So now, if you are among those families that their kids live more in diaspora, maybe they go to Africa once in a while, once in a blue moon, and things like that. Those kids never have the idea, or never have the real view. Will I say view? They don't really have the feeling. Will I say feeling? They don't really have the connection of your country in Africa, wherever it is. So they grew up here, they went to school, they studied here, they start their job here, they start their families here and all that. But back of their mind, they know that they are coming from somewhere, which is Africa. They know the country, they know the tribe, they know everything. They know everything about your country, Africa, as a parent. Then, but they have their family here in diaspora. They are married, they have their own kids. So tell me, now as a parent who came all the way from Africa to diaspora, you worked a lot of your life, you built a house in let me use my country for example, you built a house in Nigeria, you did all that, but you still live in diaspora. Because what are your intentions of building a house in Nigeria? Your intentions is that when you get old, you're going to retire home, you're going to retire back home. So you want a house where when you retire, you could live in, you could have a comfortable life to yourself. But most times we plan that, but it's not the way it goes when we plan. You know, God has another plan for us. But apart from that, you still have to plan your own physical plan. So, and then you finish building this house, you live all your life in diaspora. You sleep and slave in diaspora. You work hard in diaspora. You live more in diaspora. We have 12 months in a year, and those 12 months, I would say maybe you visit diaspora, you visit Africa once in those years. And then sometimes some people visit twice, some thrice, but it depends on what you're doing back home. If you don't have any business back home, I don't see you traveling to Nigeria often. It's for those, most of the people that travel to Nigeria often are those people that have one or two things they are doing back home. But if you are the kind of person that you have most of your businesses abroad, or you are a working class person, you cannot be traveling to Nigeria all the time. You only go when you have holidays. So in the process, what is happening is that you're living more in diaspora than in Nigeria. So for example, you finish building your house in Nigeria. After building your house, you're a working class person. You visit Nigeria once in a blue moon, maybe once in a year, because you're a working class person. You cannot afford traveling to Nigeria every month or every 6 months and all that. So what happens? You don't live in that house. Some of you rent the house out to get some money. Some of you put your family members in the house to take care of the house. Some of you put caretaker to take care of the house. A lot of different stories there and there, you know. But the thing is that you live in diaspora, you are paying rent in diaspora. You pay rent in diaspora to live where you're living. And you don't live comfortable in diaspora. You don't live very well over here in Europe, but you have a beautiful house, a well-polished house in Nigeria or in Africa, if I will use that word. So now, what is your profit? Why did you labor January to December to build a house you cannot live in? Why did you labor so hard to put someone who has nothing to do with your suffering in a house? This person enjoys your sweat. This person enjoy everything that you've labored for years. And you are busy sleeping in one room. You are busy managing yourself in diaspora without even living comfortably in diaspora. But someone is back there enjoying all your labor. It sounds as if something is wrong somewhere. Did you get what I'm trying to say? It's like something is wrong somewhere. You work January to December, put money aside to build a house which you cannot live in, and where you're staying in diaspora, where you get your money from, you cannot even live comfortably there, because your intention is that one day you're going to go back to Nigeria. But at the end of the day, you are now 50, 60, you are still hanging around in diaspora. You are not living in that house. Someone else is living there. Some of you don't even rent it out. You just lock it up and someone lives there to take care of it for you. Does it make any sense? If you're putting it for rent, it's a different thing to make money. Sometimes you put it for rent and they owe you a whole lot of money. the people that are living there cannot even pay you. And sometimes you build these houses in Nigeria, you don't even, when you travel to visit Nigeria, you don't even live in those houses because the country is not secure. All you need to do is to go and rent a place and live there or stay in the hotel because you're afraid to live in the house that you built. Why? Because it's not secured. Probably you hear that maybe that area is not safe or something like that. And then you end up staying in an hotel because of security reasons. So how many of you build a house in Nigeria and live in there? Majority don't live there because they are afraid of their life. Some do though, but how many do live in the house they built? That is one point. And then after all this said and done, you don't even live in the house. And they are telling you, come and build a house, come and do this, come and do that. You don't even live there because you've built it, but you don't live there. So what is the essence of building a house where you don't live because you're afraid of security reasons? And then, when you are no more, will your children that you gave birth to in diaspora or brought to diaspora who grew up in Europe, will they go and claim that house? It's another question. Who are the family members that will support those children to claim that house? Can anybody tell me? Unless you must come from an extremely good family. A family that knows, that have conscience. A family that knows that what does not belong to them does not belong to them. A family that has truth flowing in their bloodstream. Those are the kind of family that will say, no, our brother or our sister is no more. This is his house. We're going to sell it and give his children, or let us allow the children to decide on what to do with the house. But in Nigeria or in Africa, severally we have heard so many stories that family members sold the house. Family members do one way or the other for the owner of the house, himself or herself, not to even remember their properties. No talk of their own children that are in diaspora that doesn't even know anything about them. So they do all sorts of things to take that house away from you, either physical or spiritually, And then, for example, you put someone to take care of the house for you, maybe a family member, please stay there and take care of this house for me. At the end of the day, what happens? The family member, the day you will come and say, okay, now this property, please, I want to sell it. You have to find a place to live. It becomes a problem. You cannot even tell them to find a place to live because for them, that house you suffered to build has become theirs automatically. So the day you tell them to find a place to stay, that you want to sell your property because of one reason or the other, you becomes an enemy. So it's either they find a way to eradicate you, or they do juju to turn your eyes off your property, or they have those ones that cannot do juju, those ones that cannot kill you or they cannot do anything to you, they have you in back of their mind as one of their greatest enemy for life. So in the process, you have created a very big enmity between you, your house, and the family member you put in the house. So what is all this stress? I mean, you go to work in summer, you go to work in winter, you tour around the whole Europe to gather money. Do you know what it is to work in Europe and gather this money to build a house? Only for some stranger, only for one family member who is lazy about, who is sleeping without doing anything to come and sit and enjoy. You cannot even live in a better place in Europe. You cannot even drive a beautiful car in Europe. You cannot even buy a nice clothes to put on your body in Europe. But behold, you built a beautiful house in Africa, in Nigeria, and behold, who is enjoying it? Someone that does not know how you labored for it. Africans think. Before you build a house in Africa, number one, you must know if you're going to live over there when you are around certain age. If you are sure you're not going to live in Nigeria or in Africa, why suffering yourself? Why don't you make the place you live your home? Why don't you buy a house in Europe, furnish it to your satisfaction, enjoy your life when you can still enjoy. Enjoy the fruit of your labor when you are still alive and breathing fine and healthy. Because that house you have in diaspora, the house you bought in diaspora, is what your children can have when you're gone. That house you built in diaspora, that house you bought in diaspora, is the house that your children will share when you're gone. And they are going to use that money to add to the money they're going to have to buy their own house. It's going to be a kind of support for them. So why building a house in Africa when you know that your children will not even get that house? When you know that your children cannot even fight to get that house? Because your siblings, your relation, they are all going to feast on that house when you're gone. That your children will not even be able to fight them or to do anything. Because if they try, some families are dangerous, they will just kill all your kids. And your kids don't even know the process or the procedure of what is happening in Nigeria or in Africa in the first place. They are JJCs, they don't know what's going on. You just want to kill them for nothing. And moreover, and most of them, if they know you even have a house in Africa and something happens to you and you are no more alive, they will not even go and fight for that house. They will leave it, they will abandon it because they've got money to buy their own properties abroad. So they don't care what you've labored for over there. So what are we saying? I want Africans to begin to think. Don't say because somebody tells you come and do something that you have to do. Think about your circumstances. Think about your children, because whatever you've got in Europe will belong to your children. But whatever you have in Africa does not belong to your children, because your children don't know the process and the procedure that is going on there. They didn't grow up there, so they don't know anything about Africa. They don't know anything about Nigeria. Even if they visited and all that, they can't fight. They can't fight for your property. It is dangerous for them to fight for your property. It's only 1% of family that are very good, that are very sincere. But who are the 1% of family? It takes the grace of God to know the 1% of family. Because when you are gone, you will see those that laugh with you are going to be your enemies. They will torment your children. They will torment everything that belongs to you. So be careful what you do. Be careful how you plan. So I advise people in diaspora, if you have a lot of money, after buying your house in diaspora, you could buy one in Nigeria or you could buy one in Africa. But first, where you live is where you have to buy a house. That is the first thing. Don't buy a house where you don't live, because that will be foolishness. That is unwise. So when you finish buying a house in Europe where you live, where you go to work every day, where your family, your children grow every day, where your children knows more, that is where you have to buy a house first. Don't buy a house in Africa or in Nigeria without buying one in where you live, because you need to enjoy your labor. You need to enjoy what you have worked hard for. You need to enjoy what you have suffered and toiled all these years for. You need to. You don't come to this world, work so hard and give it to strangers to enjoy. That is bad. That is penny-wise, pound foolish. I want to talk to all Africans in diaspora. Think about yourself. Think about yourself first before anyone. Think about yourself first. Make yourself comfortable before you can make other people comfortable. Because if you don't make yourself comfortable, you will just die and leave this earth for nothing. You've hurt yourself. Think about your children who are living in diaspora before anyone else. Plan for your children who are living in diaspora before anyone else. Stop building a house and you don't have a house where you live. Stop building mansions in Africa. Stop building skyscrapers in Africa. But where you live, you don't even have a beautiful bed to lay your head when you come back from work. That is penny wise, pound foolish. So I want to advise everyone in diaspora to wake up. I've heard a lot of cases where there was a case that a woman tore all her life in diaspora. I think this happened in UK. Yes, in the UK. She's about 60 or 60 plus. She did everything to build a very beautiful house back there in Nigeria, and then she didn't have a stay probably in Europe. I mean in the UK. So I think the police they deported her back to Nigeria, which is good that she did something nice, because she knows that she doesn't have a resident permit in UK. So all she did was that she had to work hard, build a house, so that in case she goes back because she knows she's going to end up in Nigeria anyways. So when she gets back there, she'll be able to, have her own property and then start her life from there. But unfortunately, it didn't happen that way, because the person she entrusted the house into his hands sold the house, and then when they repatriated this woman, she was homeless and slept on the street. You can imagine, after all the years she toiled to build that house, someone else sold it. Someone that did not know how she suffered, someone that did not know the sleepless night she didn't have, saved a lot of money to build that house, sold the house, and rendered the old woman, homeless. I mean, why should you even build a house and you give the original papers to a stranger or to your family members? That is absurd. If you build a house in Africa, make sure the original paper is with you, so that in case anything happens, you can contest it in the court of law. But when you give the original papers to someone, it doesn't make sense. So if anything happens to you, that person has right to your property. I mean, Africans should wake up and be wise. Sometimes I see that we Africans are not wise at all. The way we reason is quite so absurd that I begin to wonder, why are we reasoning this way? We do not reason properly. I must confess. As an African, I see that most of us, the way we reason is quite absurd. So I wonder when we're going to start reasoning properly. So in essence, I've gotten a lot of stories there and there that people build houses in Africa, and what happened? Their family members snatched the house from them. Some they kill them. They do all sort of evil to them. And when I look at these stories critically, I saw that most of these people that have these houses in Africa or in Nigeria do not even have a house of their own in Europe. They pay rent. You pay rent in Europe where you make the money, and you build a house in Africa where you do not make the money and you do not live. And when you even go on holiday, you do not even live there. Does it make any sense to anyone? It doesn't make sense to me. I will make myself comfortable in the country I am before I take back home. So if you have enough money to build a house in Africa, make sure you build one where you live in diaspora, and then you can now build a house in Africa. Because the house you have in diaspora, if you've got kids, those are the profit your kids will have when you are no more there. So if you know you have not bought a house in diaspora, please stop building a house in Africa until you buy one here, because your children need that house when you are no more there, so that they can share it among themselves. They can, use it to buy their own house. Africans should wake up. You may say, war, when war comes, when will you run to and all that? Yeah, it is where you live that is your home. You want to tell me that when war comes, when you're from Nigeria, when war comes in Nigeria, you're going to run away from Nigeria? It's your country. Where will you run to? So when war comes, you have to find a way to survive. Where you live is your home. You can't tell me that. that because you are waiting for one war to come before that's why you have to build a house. Or you are waiting for one thing to happen before you know that if you build a house, it's going to help you. It is where you live that you make your home. And especially what I am stressing out right now are those of us that have kids in diaspora. Our kids will never go to Nigeria to live. They will never stay in Nigeria. There is nothing you can say. Maybe 1 or 2% will want to go back to Nigeria, but most of our kids can't stay in Nigeria. They can't even manage in Nigeria. If you and I, who are their parents, cannot even survive in Nigeria when we go, because they are going to finish us there. Most of the things they do in Nigeria, we cannot even do them. Most of the tricksters that are, in Nigeria, we cannot even face them. We cannot even stand them. No talk of our kids that don't even have idea of the life they live back home. They don't understand the life. The children that grew up in diaspora are kids that are very straightforward. They don't lie. They don't do things irrationally. They do things accurately. So how will these children cope to go and start fighting for your property back home? They can't fight for your property. So any property you've got in Africa, while your kids are here, you just, I'm sure you just have that property for your family. Because count your children out, because they can't fight for it. And most of them will not even go there and stay. So what's the essence? That is why I said in this video that if you have enough money, first of all, build a house, buy a house in diaspora. Then if there is enough money, you can now buy one back home. But if you don't have enough money, make sure you buy a house in diaspora and leave that of Africa, because this is where you belong. This is where you can stay. This is where you live. This is your home. And what is this thing with Africans, especially Nigerians? They when they die, they want them to take their corpse back home. That is why I was hearing, I think, was he Putin that said, we Nigerians have turned our country to cemetery. We will come to Europe to come and attend the best hospitals. We'll come to Europe to come and do the best shopping, buy clothes, buy this, buy that, go on holidays all over the world. But when we die, they said, take the corpse back home. Is Nigeria a dumping ground for dead bodies? Why won't Nigeria be a place where you can build good hospitals, you can build a tourist center that people from other countries can visit? We do not want to build our country to be great, but we want to carry the corpse back home. For what? For me, it doesn't really matter whether you bury the person in Nigeria, you bury the person in Europe. Bury is bury. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. Somebody that left Africa for so many years, when the person died, they will go and bury the person there. What does it make? It doesn't make any sense. If the person is dead, is dead. So what's all this ceremonies all about? So what I'm saying let's not forget about that. What I'm saying in my video is that, look, brothers and sisters, Africans, fellow Africans like me, don't build a house in Africa when you know your kids are here. Build a house in diaspora so that your children, when you are no more, they can sell the house. If they don't want to stay in the house, they can sell the house and share it among themselves. At least it will profit them. Because that house you build in Africa, your children have no idea. They don't have anything to do with those houses that you build in Africa. I'm telling you the truth. Well, it's a hard truth. Yes. But if you have enough money, I do not say that you cannot build a house in Nigeria or in Africa. I'm not saying that. What I'm only trying to say is that before you build any house in Africa, make sure you have one where you live for your future, for your children. That is very important. That is why I'm making this video, because a lot of us have made a lot of mistakes. We don't live in the house we have in Africa. We only live there once in a blue moon, once in a year, maybe twice in a year. And most of us in the first place don't even live there when we go to that when we go to Africa, we don't even live there. Especially for those of us that are from Nigeria, that our country is not really safe. We try to live where it is safe, where there's more maximum security. But maybe those of you that come from Mozambique and other Eastern Africa, maybe your country is quite safe, so you could stay in your house and there's no problem. But we that come from Nigeria, you know, we need to be very, very, you know, uptight and secured when we're in Nigeria, because our country is somehow funny these days. So what am I trying to say? Let us reason properly, because we've got kids in diaspora. Whatever we want to do, let us think about our children in diaspora. Let us think about our future generation in diaspora. Let us plan for our kids in diaspora. Let us reason with our children in diaspora. That is the essence of my video. Let us reason and plan very well with our children, for our children. Thank you so much, and God bless you. If this is the first time, please subscribe to my channel. And for the welcoming back subscriber, I love you all. Stay blessed till my next video, and bye.